Hi everyone, this is Neel, Raithatha, consultant audiologist and director of ClearWax. Thank you for joining me in this latest video using the WAXscope. And again, I'm using our pediatric size specular, which is a size 1. So it's a really small specular to enable to get access within the ear canal. So this patient is not a pediatric patient, they're in their 70s. And when we took their case history, they informed me that they have what we call surface ear, which I'll explain in more detail in a moment, aka exostosis. And they had it in both ears. And this plug of wax and dead skin, so where I am at the moment, the surface is really hardened and dry. You can see it's really dark as well, it's been there for a while. But then the midsection was a bit softer, and you'll see the difference in consistency, different parts of this kind of keratin wax plug. Now, what's surface ear? So surface ear is also known as exostosis, and it's when you develop bony nodules deeper in the ear, in the osseous portion of the ear canal, so the bony section. So the outer third is made up of cartilage, the inner 2/3 of the ear canal is made up of bone. And patients who are exposed to regular exposure to cold water or even cold air, what can happen? They can develop a condition called periosteum refrigeration. Now, the bony part of the ear canal, the skin that lines it is less than, well, not less than, around 0.1 millimeters in thickness. It's only the epidermal layer of skin. You don't have the middle layer, the dermal layer, the dermis, or the subcutaneous or hypodermis layer, which is made up of fatty tissue. So in essence, the bony part of the ear canal is lined with a very wafer thin layer of skin. And therefore, cold air or water in particular can cause this process of periosteum refrigeration. So periosteum is a thin membrane that sits on the surface of the bone, and it provides the bone with all the blood and nutrients that it needs. So when it's with cold air, the bony part of the ear canal in particular gets really cold. It then leads to periosteum refrigeration. So the periosteum gets really cold because of the cold air and water. It then causes the blood vessels to dilate, which then can cause periosteoitis. So periosteoitis is an inflammation of the periosteum. And that can then lead to osteoblasts, which are specialized bone cells, again, living on the surface of the bone to produce new bone. And you get these bony nodules normally at 12 o'clock, and then 4 and about 7 o'clock in the ear canal. So it's almost like a triangle. So because this patient advised that they've got surface ear, we've got to be very, very careful, in particular when using manual instruments. So you could see I used the ear pick initially because we don't know how large these bony nodules are. So if you insert a manual instrument too deep or to the wrong, too close to the canal wall, you can bump into that bony nodule and it can be quite uncomfortable for the patient. So I used the ear pick initially because it's really streamlined instrument. It's very thin, so you're less likely to get in contact with the canal walls. I've just used the correct there for a moment, and ironically the correct, that surface part of the wax I've removed, but then deeper where we are now, the skin is quite soft and mushy, so that correct almost kind of cut through it. Now, because there is a bit of skin protruding from the ear canal, I thought I'd try the forceps, see if I can get, because some of the skin is really soft and mushy, some is a bit crusted, but the forceps weren't really useful. So I think I've just gone back in with the correct. Now, so far, I haven't gone too deep into the ear with them. I've not, although I am getting into the midsection, the core, I'm just being cautious not to go too deep into the ear for the reasons I explained before. But eventually, I'm going to have to use an ear hook to remove this because it wasn't going to come out the ear any other way. The plug is too large and in some parts too hardened to come out the entrance. We were joking with the patient, it's like almost giving birth because it's such a large plug and I have to squeeze it through the entrance and we can see the head of the wax. So some of this wax that you can see it with the naked eye. So you've got this softer skin top left, so I'm just thought, let me see if I can vacuum. Is it coming forwards? And some of it did. And sometimes you can wriggle it through. If this plug was a bit softer, and guys, I have got a still image at the end of the video. It's a huge plug. Now, if the entire plug was softer, you could kind of wriggle it through the entrance, even if the plug is larger than the entrance. But because this is such a hardened piece, it wasn't going to come out with microsuction. Got quite a hairy ear canal as well. Now, this patient, if they have got surface ear, it's very mild. It wasn't your traditional appearance, because I didn't really see. Now, the deeper part of the ear canal was narrower, but we can get that in patients who don't have exostosis or surface ear. There weren't any prominent nodules. Now, they are a keen swimmer, and they grew up on the south coast, or southwest coast of the UK in Cornwall. This is where I'm using the ear hook, so I've kind of just had to go in a bit deeper to extract this, and it's completely comfortable for the patient. Now, this patient has got some otitis externa, so there was a bit of erythema of the ear canal and also the eardrum. It was a bit dull, and you can see they've got some kind of residual dead skin here. Whenever I see skin like this, I always just kind of wonder whether there's anything underlying. So that's why we're trying to remove it. Is there canal cholesteatoma, for example, or benign osteonecrosis? So I'm using the 17 gauge suction tip. I've just increased the brightness a little bit. Initially, I reduced the brightness because it was quite reflective. So I'm just stretching open the ear a little bit more. So this skin is quite deep. It's on the posterior canal wall. So I managed to get most of it out, enough to be sure that there's nothing underlying. I did have a secondary courtesy look with the endoscope as well, just to make sure there's nothing sinister going on underneath the skin, and it was all fine. But the ear canal was slightly, no, it could just be because of the wax plug, because it was such a huge plug. It's compressed against the ear canal. As you can see, I'm just trying to peel this last bit. I think I get most of it away. So the eardrum was a bit dull. There was no middle ear effusion there. So they reported having otitis externa, which is kind of an inflammation, or sometimes can be an infection of the ear canal in the past. And so they have used a spray in the UK that we call Optimize, although I think they've changed the name. So I'm just going to have a final look. There's a bit of skin left there. There's a bit of clarinetting, but there's nothing sinister going on there. That's the eardrum. You see it's a bit dull, and that's the wax plug. Hope you enjoyed that video, guys.